We are Rogue Media Sports.
Estevão! 2 games, 2 stoppage time gut punches. Back-to-back heartbreak for the champions. Aww, Liverpool are crying. And Arsenal reclaim top spot. Let's go! Could this be the season? Could this be the season, people? And somewhere out there, my Manchester United fans are smiling again. So much drama to dive into. Let's get right into it. Welcome to another episode of Mind of Football Fans podcast. Let's go! Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mind of Football Fans podcast, your go-to for all things Premier League football. As always, I'm David. I'm so glad you could join us after another match week. This is Matchweek 7 recap, breakdown, and analysis. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in. Happy Sunday to y'all who are watching, because we're recording on a Sunday. This will be out on Tuesday. But happy Sunday to you, and hope you're having a good start to the week. Yes, thank you so much. Now, before we get right into the drama and the tea and the action, we have to start by saying thank you to our subscribers. For those of you who have subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. We love you guys so much. Without you all, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you so much. And I have to say again, to our new people watching, and yes, to our new people watching, please hit that subscribe button down below. Hit it, yes, down below. Thank you so much for tuning in for the first time, and we hope you stick around. We pray you stick around also. So thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget, both new and returning subscribers, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit the like button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we drop content for you all. So thank you all so much. We appreciate you all. And as always, this is not the only place you can find us. This is My Football Fans podcast on all podcast platforms because we're out there. Check us out. We love you guys so much. Kisses, love and kisses to you all. Thank you so much. So let's jump right into it. I started this episode by shouting, Estevão! Now, what will I start with that? Well, it's not every day as an Arsenal fan, I'll be shouting a Chelsea player's name. And if yes, Estevão is a Chelsea player. It's not every day I'll be shouting a Chelsea player's name. But I have to, because he came up clutch, 90 plus 6. And that's where we begin. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1 in the marquee game of the week. Yes, this was the marquee game of the match week. Oh, wow, what a game. If you are not on the live watch along yesterday, well, please go back and check it. Because I was screaming my guts out, especially after that goal went in. Well, no, actually, pretty much from the first minute of the game. No, actually, from Caicedo's goal going in, I was screaming my guts out. Right? And it intensified as Estevão's goal went in. Like crazy. So let me paint a picture for you. Liverpool came into this game having let in a stoppage time winner at Crystal Palace 2 weeks ago. And I do apologize for not being here 2 weeks ago. A few things came up, so I was able to come and, I guess, throw Liverpool 2 weeks ago. But yes, 2 weeks ago, they let in, not 2 weeks ago, last week rather, they let in a stoppage time winner against Crystal Palace. Away from home? I think it was away from home. I can't remember. Yes, it was away from home. So away from home, stoppage time winner to Crystal Palace. And if you guys remember, Liverpool were the kings of late minute goals. They were the kings of late last minute winners. They loved it. That's what they did. They'll literally not play well. They'll score one, the opponent to score again, and then they'll score again. Or the game is 0-0, and then last minute they score. Like, we knew that. They loved it. It was their thing. That's what we defined them for. They won't play well, but they always found a way to win. And we said it was the mindset of champions. Well, 2 weeks ago, or rather again, last week, it backfired on them, and they considered a last-minute winner to Crystal Palace. Midweek, they go to Galatasaray, Istanbul, back-to-back away games, and they concede a penalty. Now we can debate if that should be a penalty or not penalty, whatever. What the main story is they considered the penalty and they could not equalize or even get the chance to score a last-minute winner. Okay, cool. So back-to-back defeats in all competitions for Liverpool. This is new. We haven't seen this from Liverpool before. We come into Chelsea. Chelsea too were coming off a defeat last week to Brighton, in which they had another red card. So we're saying they have had red cards in their last 3 games. In their last 3 games, they've had 3 red cards, or rather, last 4 games they've had 3 red cards. Yes. No, actually, yeah. And anyway, the stats don't matter. Just know that in the last few games, Chelsea have had red card, right? So Chelsea was coming off a defeat to Brighton, and both teams needed to get the win. The pressure was on both teams to find a winner. Liverpool, because obviously Arsenal was chasing them. Chelsea to get, because as a Chelsea manager, you have that pressure. Like, you can win all the trophies in the world. If you go back to back games without winning, you are going to feel that pressure. That's just Chelsea way, really, right? And they both come in with that pressure. And the game starts, the game kicks off, right? And Chelsea are literally on the front foot. Chelsea are flying. Liverpool couldn't string passes together. Liverpool couldn't do anything. And I'm surprised. I'm watching the game and I'm like, what's Liverpool doing? Chelsea were all over them. It was shocking to see. Well, and maybe not surprising to a degree because they were the home team and Chelsea do play well at home, right? But it was shocking to see that Chelsea all over the champions. Liverpool with so much firepower, where Isak started, where Salah started, where Gakpo started, where Arne Slot started his stride and true midfield of Subslar, McAllister, and Gravenberch. Everything was set for Liverpool. And then in the 14th minute, Caicedo gets past McAllister, does the shot fake, makes Van Dijk boom, and then blasts it in the top corner. I was like, wow, Caicedo, what a goal. What had me was the Van Dijk boom, like that shot fake made Van Dijk go boom. And I promise, like, if you haven't seen it, go watch the highlight. Like, it's crazy. That shot fake just went made Van Dijk go boom. So 1-0 Chelsea. And Liverpool didn't really look like they were going to get a goal. Like, Liverpool looked lethargic. Liverpool looked like they flew like 10,000 miles to get to Stamford Bridge. Like, they looked like their legs were tired. And don't get me wrong, they did just come back from Istanbul, against a game against Galatasaray in Champions League. But still, I think that was Tuesday. That game was Tuesday. And then, yes, that was a Tuesday game. So they flew in Wednesday morning, right? So they had Thursday, they had Friday. I think that's enough time. They had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, really. So that was enough time, really. But Liverpool didn't just look at it, and Chelsea just really dominated. And it showed, especially in the second half. Enzo Maresca has been criticized for his substitutions, especially if you can remember a few weeks back against Manchester United, where they went 10 men down in the first 5 minutes, and he removed Neto and he removed Estevão, right? Like, we all remember that. And since then, he's been criticized for his substitutions. But his substitutions in this game were top notch. Estevão coming on, Grittins coming on, Margay coming up to start up front. And obviously, yes, we know that Chelsea lost their 2 starting centre backs, which I must say, they played amazing. Achepong and Badiashile, they were amazing. But Reece James went in. Hoto, the guy from Ajax, also went in and put in a good shift. They really put in a good shift, I must say, right? But Chelsea were on it, and the subs came in and added more to it, really. Lucky enough, Gakpo got the goal. Liverpool, I think, had a 5-minute spell. To be honest, Liverpool should have even scored. Salah had a good chance that Florian Wirtz gave him, and he should have scored, but he just blasted it over the bar. Salah wasn't on it, and that was kind of shocking to see, really. This past 3 games, Salah has really been on it. But that's a conversation for another day. We won't go into that, really. But, yes, so Isak, with the assist for Gakpo, kind of cushions the ball. A cross is played by stand-up cross by Dominic Szoboszlai. Isak cushions it for Gakpo, and Gakpo is just there at the right place at the right time and finish it. And it's 1-1. And I believe before that goal, Chelsea hadn't made the subs. After that goal, Chelsea didn't make the subs, and they come in and they are putting the pressure. Like, if that game, in my mind as I was watching it, I was like, towards the 80th minute, and you can go back and watch it live, I said, guys, this game might end a draw. This game is looking like it's going to end a draw. But the subs kept going. The Chelsea team kept going. If you ask me a team who was going to go for the win, it was Chelsea. Chelsea were going for the win. And lo and behold, Estevão. Estevão, the 18-year-old boy who came to London, who came to England for the first time as an 18-year-old kid. Really, he's a kid, right? And I know that that is not really a big thing. Like, well, I know why we're making this big, but that's really a big thing, to be honest, right? Coming in clutch, 90 plus 5, there were 7 minutes of added time added, really. Coming in clutch, back post, Enzo finds Cucurella. Caicedo starts that move. Shout out to Caicedo, my man of the match, right? Starts that move from the back, gets away from the midfielders, finds Cucurella. Cucurella drives in. He then finds Enzo. Enzo holds the ball for a minute. Then he finds Cucurella with the true ball, and Cucurella crosses it. And what they tell every winger, when the ball is in the opposing side, make sure you're on the back post. And Estevão was in the back post to slide it in. He literally slid to put the ball in. What a game. I was screaming my heart out. Screaming my heart out. Because, again, that means we were back on top. I will get into that in a minute. But that means we were back on top. That's why literally I'll scream my heart. But also because I'm a football fan and I love the drama, I love the intensity of the game. So that was a good game to watch. Good game from both sides. Now, what does it mean for Chelsea? Well, for Chelsea, it means that they go back to sixth. They bounce back from their defeat against Brighton. Obviously, they won the Champions League against Benfica. They also got a red card in that game, funny enough. They also got a red card too, but it's Enzo Maresca. I don't think it counts. People are saying it does because it continues the rate of one red card per game. I don't know if it counts. I won't really look too deep into it. But it was a good result for Chelsea. Bounce back win, especially when you look at their two prior results, especially against Manchester United and Brighton. It's a good win for them. Now for Liverpool, it kind of tells us what we kind of already knew, that this team isn't it yet. And I say yet because I believe there's potential for this team to be amazing. There's potential for this, that if they click, if they gel, oh wow, they'll be unstoppable. But as of right now, they are not it. The defense is not it. Like from the first game of the season, they are conceding. Yeah, I know they are winning goals, but they are winning games, but they are conceding silly goals. I said during the live, Ibrahim Konate looks sus. Something is up with him. I don't know what is up with him, but something is up with him. Funny enough, he was substituted. I was surprised that Frimpong wasn't introduced into the game to replace Conor Bradley, because if you remember, Conor Bradley was on the yellow card. I predicted that he would not start the second half, and he did. Florian Wirtz came in, and Subside went into right back. I was surprised that Frimpong did come in. That was quite shocking to see. So either Arne Slot doesn't trust him as a right back, especially in games like this, or he wasn't healthy. That's what I'll say. Because I do think that Subside has more endurance to play right back position than Frimpong. So it is what it is. We're not going to say too much. But this team is just not it yet. We go back to Salah. Salah wasn't on it. The liveliest attacker they had was Gakpo. Gakpo was the liveliest attacker they had. And you are saying that says so much when you have the likes of Salah and Isak and Wirtz and Subsline and all this powerhouse of players, and Ekitike also. I was also surprised that Ekitike did not start, but again, we're not going to say too much on that. So for Liverpool, it means that they are 1 point behind Arsenal, because Arsenal did win their game, which we'll talk about earlier. Which we'll talk about, later, right? Arsenal did win their game earlier. So Liverpool have 2 losses. Arsenal have 1 with 1 draw. Liverpool have 2 losses and no draws. Same amount of wins. So 1 point behind Arsenal going into the international break. Yes, we have an international break for the next 2 weeks. So we'll have Premier League football. I'm crying. But it is what it is. But yeah, again, good game of football. Amazing game of football to watch. It is what it is. Shout out to Estevão. Estevão! Shout out to him. Moving on. Manchester United to Sunderland. I'm not going to say too much on this, other than we all know what was going on prior to this game. Ruben Amorim was under so much pressure. Now, reports came out that they weren't going to sack him. That's true. I don't think they would have sacked him if he had lost this game. I think the pressure was more of of just him winning. He just had to win because this was his 50th game, and the stats of his 50 games have not been good. I think it's like 50 games. My If we count this win, right? It's 50 games, 20 wins, 29 losses, and so, something like that. The stats were abysmal, really. And if he had lost this game after losing to Brentford, it would have been lost at Brentford, lost lost against Sunderland, and then you host, and then you then go to Liverpool at Anfield. Liverpool looking for a bounce back win. You then go to Anfield to play Liverpool next after the international break. That is a lot of pressure for one man to handle. That's a lot of pressure to go to Anfield on the heels of back-to-back defeats to teams of no offense, Brighton or Sunderland, but to those teams, nah, that's too much pressure for one guy to handle. So it was a good win for them because they're now going to Anfield and the pressure shifts to Liverpool. Liverpool coming off 3 defeats in a row in all competitions. The pressure then shifts to them. Roman Amorim has at least silenced some people. Don't get me wrong. His results, especially in the Premier League, are not good. That his results in 50 games as a manager, whether in all competitions or in Premier League, whatever you want to say, are not good. They are abysmal, abysmal. But the win does help, I guess, buy him some credit in the bank. It does get him some credit in the bank, especially in the fan for the fans. They get to smile again. Because if you with Manchester United, it feels like you take one step forward, 3 steps backward. One step forward, 5 steps backward. One step forward, 10 steps backward. Like that's literally kind of what it feels like. So don't get me wrong. Don't be surprised, rather, if obviously they've won this game against Sunderland, then they lose to Liverpool, and then who they will play next? Then they lose they lose to Liverpool. Imagine they won against Sunderland, lose to Liverpool, lose to Brighton, and then lose to Forrest. Like that'll be I can see that. Don't be surprised. Like I can see that happening literally. So but again, Manchester United fans deserve happiness. They deserve to smile once in a while. It is what it is. Sunderland, I'm not going to say too much on them because out of the 3 promoted teams, they are the ones that are literally balling. They're amazing. And currently I think they sit seventh. I'll say seventh in the Premier League, really. Seven they sit they sit ninth, rather. They sit ninth in the Premier League. So we won't say too much on it. Um moving on. Arsenal to West Ham nil. Arsenal, what a week to be an Arsenal fan. And I say that with no holding back because it's been a glorious week. Last week, coming back against Newcastle in St. James Park, a haunting ground for Arsenal. And then midweek, winning in Champions League against Olympiacos. And then West Ham at the Emirates, which hasn't really been a nice fixture for Arsenal in the past 2 seasons. Comfortable 2-0 win. The one thing I'll say is I was impressed with Arsenal. I was impressed with how comfortable this win was. Like West Ham are no scrubs. Obviously, they are going through a transition period, but West Ham are no scrubs. West Ham had no sniff. Like they had no sniff. You could see that Arsenal controlled it. Like it was 1-0 and there was no worry of like, oh, we have to score quickly to that. Like the second goal was nice, don't get me wrong. But like I feel like Arsenal could have literally won this game 1-0 and no one would say nothing because of how comfortable they looked. They looked comfortable, they looked secure. West Ham had no sniff, they had no even chance to go out. Nothing. West Ham had nothing. Arsenal gave them nothing. So that's what I'll say from this game. Like it's impressive to watch a game where it is. And don't get me wrong, I know like it's not surprising that Arsenal defensively are good. Like we know that that's their team. That is their calling card. Defense and corner kicks, right? Like they are really good defensively and corner wise, they're very strong in it too. So it's not surprising, but sometimes even dominant teams sometimes give up a sniff here and there during a game. But Arsenal gave no sniff to West Ham, which was good to watch. And we're back on top. Back on top. Is this it? This is the season, right? I will say this is the season. I mean, my predictions still stand. Arsenal is winning the league. We had a little what's the word? Little scum. No. What am I trying to say? Yeah, the little breaking points. Um, against Liverpool and then the draw to City. Like that was a little, blip on the road. But we're back. We're back. The plan is still the plan. The main thing is still the main thing to win the Premier League for the first time in 21 years. That is the goal. That's the plan. We are back on business. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Come on. And now, as for West Ham, well, like I said, they are going through a transition period. Nuno coming in, Graham Potter sacked, Nuno coming in. Wasn't really surprising. As in the last episode, if you all remember, I said that I'll be shocked if Graham Potter is there in 2 weeks' time, and 2 weeks being now when I said it, right? So it's not surprising that Potter is gone. Nuno coming in. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. West Ham are kind of a tricky one, really. But we'll see how it goes. In Nuno we trust, really. In Nuno we trust. This is what it is. Okay. So moving on. We're going to skim through these results because I'm not really going to say too much on some of these games because again, we're 7 games into the season. We still have 31 games to go. So I'm not going to read too much into it, but we're just going to break down the action and talk about all the good tea from this game. So Leeds 1, Tottenham 2. Shout out to Kudos. I have Kudos on my FPL. To be honest, right, Tottenham deserve to draw this game. If Leeds had taken their chances, probably even lose this game, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Tottenham played bad, but I'm just saying they allowed for a dominant Tottenham team, right, that you expect against Leeds. And Leeds, again, are no scrubs, but you expect that they should dominate this game. Well, they did really. They gave so much to Leeds, and Leeds should have taken their chances. Dominic Calvert-Lewin should have taken at least 2. He should have had like 2 goals, right? And I'm not trying to say like it's easy to be a striker or whatever, but the chances he had were quality. It's not like it was just like out of the blue chance. They were like quality worked chances that any other striker in the Premier League could probably finish those chances, right? But yeah, Tottenham. I don't say they're lucky. They played well enough to be able to get this 2-1 win, but they are lucky that Leeds did not finish those chances. Or else maybe would have been saying a 3-2 win or something, or 2-2, whatever. Really, but for Leeds, it's not really anything serious. They are currently 15th with 8 points, 7 games, 8 points. That's not bad for a promoted team. We all know the record for promoted teams are abysmal, really. They have been abysmal. So, but to have 8 points after 7 games, 15th, it's not bad. There's definitely more work to be done, but the performances don't really tell the results don't really tell the full story. If you watch them, especially all 3 promoted teams play. I know Burnley lost. I will talk about Burnley in a minute, but I would say the performances warrant better results. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see. Again, 7 games into the season, there's still a lot of football left to play. We're not going to read too deep into it. As for Tottenham, again, I still have them finishing top 6. I still trust Thomas Frank. I know I might have criticized, as I criticized them earlier. I still have them finishing top 6. A win is a win. We're not going to say too much. As I said, they were lucky, but we're not going to say too much. A win is a win. I still have them finishing top 6 because of Thomas Frank. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Moving on to Everton 2, Crystal Palace 1. The Hill Dickinson Stadium is becoming a fortress. The Hill Dickinson Stadium is becoming a fortress. Crystal Palace were on a 19-game unbeaten streak. They were on a 19-game unbeaten streak. If you don't know what that means, well, let me break it down for you. That means in 19 games, they had not lost a game. They had either drawn or won, right? They were the hottest team in Europe. Literally the hottest team in Europe. And they came to the Hill Dickinson Stadium. And Everton told them, not in our house. Not in our house. Daniel Munoz opened the scoring 1-0, and we're like, oh my God, Crystal Palace on fire. This is it. Crystal Palace are going for their 20th win or 20th whatever, 20th draw, 20th win, really, rather. Crystal Palace were playing good. But Everton said, no, 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 not in Hill Dickinson Stadium. No, no, no. Yes, I'm saying it a lot because I finally learned how to say it, right? And well, I've got used to it now. And the manager, stupid penalty by Loqua. Stupid penalty. 1-1. And we're like, oh. And then 2-1, Jack Grealish. You know what? He didn't do too much in that goal. He literally just blocked it. Like it was literally a block. Like he put his leg forward and the defender cleared it against his leg and he went in. That was Jack Grealish's goal. But Jack Grealish has 4 assists and 1 goal. And you know what? I'm actually pissed. I know I say Wolves talk too much on games, but I'll take a minute and just say I'm pissed that Jack Grealish did not make the latest England squad for this coming international break. Like I think he deserved to be in there. And obviously, I don't know more than Gareth Southgate. Sorry, not Gareth. Why am I Gareth Southgate? I don't know more than Thomas Tuchel, right? So I'm not going to like say too much, but I was just kind of disappointed. I thought that he deserved to be that England squad. I do feel like I'm not going to say it was an injustice, right? Because again, I do not know more than Thomas Tuchel, right? But I do think his play warranted him to be in that England squad. And we'll leave it at that. But yeah, Hill Dickinson Stadium is becoming a fortress. Everton haven't lost since they moved into the Hill Dickinson Stadium, which was this season. Let's go back to the start of this season, right? So this season started at the Hill Dickinson Stadium with Everton playing host to Brighton, 2-0 win. Everton playing host to Manfield Town, 2-0 win. Hill Dickinson Stadium. Drawing to Aston Villa at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. And then hosting West Ham 1-1, Hill Dickinson Stadium, and then 2-1 against what was the hottest team in Europe. Literally the hottest team in Europe, 2-1 at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. The Hill Dickinson Stadium. I don't know what I think. Hill Dickinson Stadium is becoming a fortress. It's becoming a fortress. So shout out to Everton. Shout out to Everton. Good game for them. Good game for them. Jack Grealish, shout out to you. Moving on. Bournemouth 3, Fulham 1. Oh my God. Antoine Semenyo. Antoine Semenyo. No one has more goals other than Jack Grealish, and no one has more goals other than Erling Haaland, and no one has more assists other than Jack Grealish when it comes to Antoine Semenyo. Antoine Semenyo is second in assists and second in goals. That is crazy. Shout out to Antoine Semenyo. Fulham back-to-back games where they scored first and then they conceded 3. Last week it was against Aston Villa. This week is against Bournemouth. They score first and then they concede 3 in a row. Antoine Semenyo, what a season he's having. What a season he's having. And I have him in my FPL. I do have him in my FPL. Shout out to Antoine Semenyo. Kisses to you because you brought me up from where I was to where I am now. So shout out to you. And Justin Kluivert. Justin Kluivert has 2 brothers who play also professional football. All 3 of them scored this week. And I don't know why I'm saying that. Like I just wanted to drop that out there. But yeah, Bournemouth, best start to a season. What 7 games, 14 points. 7 games, 14 points. 1 draw, 2 draws, 1 loss, 4 wins. Their best start to a Premier League season. Shout out to Bournemouth. Shout out to what Andy Riola is doing in that ball club. Moving on. Brentford 0, Manchester City 1. I watched a good bit of this game. I kind of turned it off when I saw that Brentford were not going to do anything because Brentford had a good chance. I think it was his name Igo Thiago had a 1-1 chance against Donnarumma and he missed it. And after that, I was just like, if you're not scoring that, then I don't think you're going to score any goal to win this game. No, don't get me wrong. They could have probably scored and would have had a different conversation, right? But after that, I was just like, yeah, I don't think they're scoring. But again, still from this game, Erling Haaland. There are 3 strikers in Europe right now that are hotter than fish grease. Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe. Now, Kylian Mbappe obviously got injured. He might not play for France. We'll see if he's back after the international break. But these 3 strikers, if they continue this way, hotter than fish grease, and all 3 teams win at least a a sort of trophy. Let's say let's obviously we know Bayern is winning the German league. Real Madrid might probably win the La Liga after Barcelona's lost today. And City, well, I don't think City's winning the league. So we'll probably see like a cup competition, really, right? Three of them could be vying for the Ballon d'Or come next season. Three of them could be vying for the Ballon d'Or come next season. Shout out to Usman Dembele for winning the Ballon d'Or. I know we didn't talk about that. But shout out to Usman Dembele. I think it was well deserved. And we're just going to leave that there. But yeah, no striker other than Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe is hotter than Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is having himself a season, scoring two midweek in the Champions League, even though they drew the game, and then bagging one now. No one is hotter than him other than those two strikers. No one is hotter than those three strikers in Euro's top five leagues. So yeah, shout out to those to those three strikers and Erling Haaland. Moving on, Aston Villa 2, Burnley 1. Aston Villa putting on quite a run. Putting on quite a run. It looks like Unai Emery has found the recipe. And I told you all, like, don't be worried. Like, he knows what he's doing. They just had a bit of jet lag from last season when they were playing. They made out, I think, all the way to the semi-final of the Champions League, the semi-final, I believe. Arsenal, PSG, Inter, Barcelona. No, to quarterfinal of Champions League last season, right? So this was just a little jet lag, from last season. So I knew it wasn't going to last, but he's found the form pretty much from their first Europa League match when they won 1-0. The next result was then Fulham beating Fulham 3-1, coming back. Then they beat Feyenoord in their second Europa League game 2-1, and now beating Burnley, 2-0, and then beating Burnley 2-1. I said everybody knows what he's doing. Like, we're not going to read too much into it. Gradually climbing up the ranks. Gradually climbing up the ranks. Now, will they finish top six? No, I don't think that's what's going to happen. But again, we're not going to read too much. We're not going to worry too much about Aston Villa. Unai Emery is at the wheel. So, and he still has amazing players. The players there are really good. As for Burnley, it is what it is. We're not going to say too much on Burnley. They're not bad, but then they are not where they want to be. Again, performances tell a much better story. The result, I don't think, tells a better story of how good their performances are. I think they definitely should have more points that they do have right now. Again, we go back to the Liverpool game when they considered the last minute penalty, or the Manchester United game where they considered the last minute penalty. You walk away from those two games with 2 points now. You are sitting with 6 points. That's literally 16th, or sorry, that's literally 17th, right? And they are not in the relegation zone. But again, this football. Sometimes you might play really, really well, but the football gods just favor the other team. And it is what it is. But yeah, and that's what we say. There's still a lot of football to play. Again, the performances are there. They just have to now turn it into results. So yeah, moving on. Moving on to Newcastle to Forest 2. Sorry, Forest nil. Newcastle, after the gut-wrenching loss against Arsenal, went into the midweek Champions League game and put three past. I forget who they played. I believe was it who they play? Oh my god. Um, putting Union Saints because I don't know that. Which was expected. Sorry, they put four past that team, right? Which was expected because, to be honest, I don't really know what team this is. I don't know where they are from, really. But they put four past them, and then they come against Forest, and they put two past Forest, right? Now, the only thing I'll say from this game is Ange. Ange is having himself an interesting start to the season, really. It's kind of weird when you come in as a new coach and already the fans are singing "You'll be sacked in the morning." Like, it's kind of an interesting territory to be in as a manager, right? And much more a Premier League manager, and much more succeeding a manager that took them to the Europa League in almost a good bit, you know. So there is a lot of pressure on Ange. The results haven't gone his way. Have the performances matched it? No, the performances have not matched it. So it's not even one of those scenarios where they have played well, but the results are no, no. The performances have matched it. Ange, I don't know. I'm not going to go too deep on Ange yet. I'm going to maybe give like 2 more games, 3 more games. They play, I believe, Forrest, their next games after the international break. Um, Forest play Chelsea, so that'll be a tough one. Then they play FC Porto in the Europa League. Then they play Bournemouth. Then they play United. So not easy games really. So let's see how Ange comes out from these next games after the international break, and then we'll give a verdict from there. So moving on to the last game, Wolves 1, Brighton 1. I'm not going to say too much on this. Fair result for both teams. There's really nothing to say. Um, Wolves, I guess, or rather, Brighton snatching a point. Um, kind of at the end of the line. There wasn't really anything too much in this. Wolves are still waiting for their first win. At least they've got 2 points on the board, so that's good for them. And it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that brings us to the end of Matchweek 7. Matchweek 7 that saw Estevão come on from the bench and produce a late time winner for Chelsea against Liverpool. Liverpool conceding back-to-back late winners in the Premier League. 3 defeats in a row for the champions. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Matchweek 7 saw Arsenal move back to the top of the Premier League. Manchester United getting a much needed, much deserved, not much deserved, that came out wrong. Much needed win against Sunderland. And Hill Dickinson Stadium becoming a fortress. Everton 1-2, Crystal Palace 1. No team was hotter than Crystal Palace in Euro Top 5 League, but Everton were like, not in our house, not in our house. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. We'll be back after the international break. As always, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe down below. Please subscribe down below. We love you all so much. Thank you so much. And to our returning subscribers, thank you all for subscribing. Thank you in advance also to our new subscribers for subscribing. And as always, don't forget, check us out on socials at Wide Up Football Fans Podcast, Instagram, TikTok. We're all on there. And if YouTube is not a vibe, we're on other podcast platforms. Check us out on there too. We love you guys so much. I hope you all have an amazing week ahead. We'll be back after the international break. As always, I'm David. I'm out. Peace.
We are Rogue Media Sports.